everyone, welcome to Travel Services with Masejo. My name is Masejo, and in this video we will be discussing ticketing for a simple fare calculation. If you find this video helpful, please give it a huge thumbs up, click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and share to help a fellow tourism student. Please note, this video is based on the TVET syllabus for students studying towards a national certificate in tourism. Notes, textbooks, slides, and previous question papers can be found on futuremanagers.com, which will be linked in the description box below. Now, today I am going to be going through a simple ticket. Firstly, I would like to take you through what a ticket looks like, what information would usually go into the specific boxes, and then we will go through a ticket that has already been filled out so that we can see what the information will look like in the ticket after you have finally completed the actual ticket. This is what a ticket will look like. A typical ticket will look like for travel services from N4 to N6. In the ticket, so you will be given a scenario where they will tell you, okay, you are writing a ticket for Mr. and Mrs. whoever who are going to wherever. Now, in your ticket, you will have the basic information, that is your route, that will be indicated here, and then you will have your airlines indicated here, and you will have your fare calculation indicated here. At the end of your fare calculation, you will then write the total of the fare calculation here. Then you will rewrite it again in this box, followed by the taxes. So here, that is where you will find that the codes for the taxes will be important. So here you will write your first text, ZV, your second text, ZA, and then you will write your third text here as XT. I will explain what XT means at a later stage. So you will write it out like this: ZV, ZA, and then XT. From there, you will add those three amounts up and write the total tax amount in this box. In this section, you have your commission rate, which will be very much dependent on which airline you are using. You can find it in your textbook, what commission rate you are going to be using. So usually for British Airways, you will charge it as 1, or for Central Airlines it will be 0. For SAA it will be various things. Please go into your textbook and really verify the com rate codes that are used for this particular section. So the only thing that you will write in the com rate is either 1, 0, or whatever code that you will be using for that specific airline. Then in this section, the next box is credit balance and cash collection. Under cash collection and credit balance, you will be writing the total amount of money that the client is supposed to pay. So if the client is going to be paying using a credit card, you will scratch out the cash collection box like this and write however much the client is going to be paying in the credit balance box. If your client is going to be paying cash, you cross out the credit card balance box, and then you write the amount that your client is going to be paying in this box. From there, you are followed by the currency box, where you will just write the currency code that we are using in South Africa, or the currency code that you are going to be using for your ticket. And then from there you add up your fare, you add up your tax amount, and then you write it down in the total. Here, form of payment: if you are paying cash, you will write cash. Sorry, please excuse my writing. It will get better with time. You will either write cash, if the client is paying cash, and then if the client is paying using a credit card, you will then write the credit card number here. You will write Dinah's Club, and then you write the credit card number in this box. Then this box here, you have the first box here that's written date of issue, which is going to be identified as V1. Here, audit coupon place of issue is going to be V2, and then in this section here, passenger ticket, it's going to be V3. These boxes, you don't write the information, you don't fill out the information in these boxes. All you write is V1, V2, and then V3. At the bottom of your slide here, somewhere here, anyway, where you will find space, you will then have to write them out. V1 is date of issue. V2 is place of issue, and then V3 is your CIP. After indicating that V1 is date of issue, you will then indicate what date it was. Place of issue, what is the place of issue, so on and so forth. Then you are met with the flight schedule. So here you must write out the cities in their full names. So in this section you will write JNB, and then in this section you will write the full city's name, Johannesburg. Then from there you write Johannesburg, you write the carrier is the airline, you the flight number and the class of travel. I know the space is a bit tiny, but please make it work. So you will write the flight number 801, 301, whatever. Then you will write the class is going to be YHK, depending on the class of travel. Then here you will then write your departure date. So your departure date from the city, the first city, which is Johannesburg. Then we will write the departure time. The status will either be okay, H1, HK1, HK2, and then the fare basis of your flight, which is usually made up of your class and the type of customer that it is. Like, is it an infant, is it a child, or an adult? Then not valid before and not valid after. For a simple fare calculation, you can leave this unanswered, and then the allowance is going to then be going to be now how much luggage you are going to be giving allowance for your people. So you can either write like your 30 kg, your 20 kg, depending on the class of travel that you are going to be operating under. From there, you will then write the name of your passenger here. Then you will write any endorsements that you will be giving your client here. And then origin destination is going to be the first city and the last city. So the city codes for the first city and the last city that you're going to. And then from there you will write your booking reference. In cases where you are exchanging a ticket, you will then write the ticket number, which is usually found here. The ticket number is going to be found in this section. So the ticket number, you will write it here to say you issued this new ticket in exchange for the ticket number that you got in the other ticket. So this is what your normal empty ticket will look like, and then with practice and with time you will then be able to then know how to fill out the ticket properly. So when filling out your ticket, the first thing that you need is your fare calculation. So your fare calculation will be telling you important information like where are we coming from, where are we going, what airline are we using, what class of travel are we going to be using, and how much are we going to be charging each person under each class of travel. Apologies for this table doesn't have the class of travel, but usually you should have the class of travel written in this section. So after you are done doing your calculation, it has been completed, you will then go into your ticket to go fill out your ticket. So here you will see that the ticket has now been filled out, and everything that I explained in the blank ticket has now been filled out. Unfortunately, I cannot write on this ticket, but this is what it will look like after you are done writing on it. So the first thing that you will notice here is the route. So your route is telling you where you are coming from and where you are going, which airline you are going to be using, and how much you will be charging per sector. From there, you will write the total fare calculation, and then you will write it again in this section where you write 1750 again. From there, you will go into writing your tax amount. So this section is the remittance area. So in the remittance area, we then write the amount that we are charging for the fare. Then we write the tax. So usually you will have your PSC, which is coded ZA. Then you will have your VAT, which is coded ZV, and then here you will have your XT tax, which is now going to be all the other taxes that are added up um, after you have written um, your PSC and your VAT. So if we go back to the previous slide, you will be able to see that PSC is then charged. You will be able to see how the taxes are calculated. So when we look at this section, here usually we have VAT, which is also written as ZV. The code for VAT is ZV, and then you have ZA for PSC. The taxes, so these two taxes will go into text box 1 and text box 2. The taxes that are then highlighted in this region will then be added up and written in the ticket as XT. They will be written in the ticket as XT. So in this scenario, we find that the ticket we find that we don't have a VAT, but we do have PSC, and as you can see here in this section, it's then written here out for you. In the first text box you have your PSC. In the second text box you have your EV, because there's two, so you will take the first two taxes, and then the rest of the taxes will be added up and written in this section as XT. From there, you must go into the endorsement box and explain what XT means. So in this case, XT is equals to 110 WC, and then it also equals to 1356 YR. So after you write your XT here, you must then come into this section and explain what XT means. From there, you will come into this area and then add up all the taxes. Tax 1, tax 2, and tax 3, you add them all up and you write them the total in this box. Then you write your commission rate. Then if the person is paying cash, you write cash, and then you cancel out the credit balance box like this and write the amount that they will be paying in cash, which is the same amount that you wrote in the fare calculation. Then you will write your currency, and then in this section you will add up your fare and your total tax amount, which will then give you the total amount that the client should pay. In this section you then have your flight schedule, which I did say you must write out in full. So here you have Johannesburg, as SAA. The flight number is 211, class is Y, the departure date, the departure time, the status, and then the fare basis. Here they wrote not valid after. I will be explaining the concept of not valid before and not valid after in another video. And then here you then write the allowance, the baggage allowance, which can be piece concept or weight concept. Then remember, in this box I said you write date of issue V1, place of issue V2, and then the CIP V3. Then you come at the bottom and write V1 date of issue, then you write what date the flight ticket was issued. Then here V2, the agency validation plate, or the agency validation plate, or the place of issue. You then write whatever place. So usually they will tell you something like you work for Zama Zama Travels in Johannesburg, so you will write Zama Zama Travels Johannesburg next to AVP. So here you write AVP, then you write Zama Zama Travels in Johannesburg. And then D3 is your CIP. CIP is your carrier identification plate. Here you are going to write the airline details. So you will write SAA, South African Airways, or whatever. Or yes, in this case they are using South African Airways. So that's why here under CIP they wrote SA, right? Then in this section you will then write your passenger's name like this, your surname slash name, and then followed by a space, and then you can write the code to show that this is a child, or this is an infant, or this is an adult. Also in this section where you wrote your fare basis is also made up of your class of travel plus the type of tourist that you are going to be making a ticket for. From there, the last two boxes here, you have your booking reference, which will always be provided. If it's not provided, it's okay to leave it blank. And then in this section, you then have to write origin and your destination, your origin and destination. So your origin is going to be the first city that you are departing from, and then your destination is going to be the last city that you end up in. So in this case it's JNB, because you're going to be departing Johannesburg and returning Johannesburg. So this is what your ticket will look like after you are done filling it in, and I hope this will give you a little bit more clarity when it comes to how to issue a ticket for a simple fare calculation. We have come to the end of this session, guys. Please remember to share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and share to help a fellow tourism student. Till the next session, bye guys.